The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
Taken in at the 3. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
We got this.
So out comes the Washington offense onto the field.
Leading the charge will be their quarterback. Always fun to watch, Deshaun. Now a first down throw, Watson. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
2nd and 16.
Another try after the first down sack. Watson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harris. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Here's Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sharp. And a good job on the tackle there as they...
Washington going to send out their punter.
Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Bears take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time.
They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
I like this guy. And the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved. Able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
Now a first down throw, Fields.
And he rifles one incomplete.
I tell you what, CD, this Washington defense, very strong in the victory last week.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson.
And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On first down, right back to Gibson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here's Fields. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? And we just saw their first one of this game.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 18 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. To throw is Watson. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They are back over the 500 mark for the season. Got there with a win a week ago, their 2nd straight victory.
Well, they've definitely gotten better as this season has gone along, and from what I can tell, they know their roles. Everyone understands how they fit offensively, defensively, and this team now has an identity, and they're playing to it and playing well.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Fields.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion. And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Second and 11 now. To throw is Fields.
Over the middle, complete. That's Wheeler. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Now Fields.
And that is incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Here we go on the next drive for Washington.
We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a 1st down. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson pushes past him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Third and 2, Watson. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. A little juke, and he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. From the 45 on 2nd down. Watson, throw left side, complete. That's sharp. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1.
Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Fields. He finds his man. Complete. That's Wheeler. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. From the gun, here's Fields. He is going to find Hill here. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38.
Fields now to throw.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
A handoff for Gibson.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Now it's Fields. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. He stiff arms him.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense.
And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Watson. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to have it here just past the 25.
Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. Cook able to escape. Still shedding tackles. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. You can talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on that defensive side of the ball.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
29 is Mike 29.
Gibson here running out of the gun.
A very tough run, but for a short gain out near the 32. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
That's out to the flat for Gibson.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's pulled in at the 32. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
So here is Washington now to take over.
They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Sharp. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
On the option, here's Watson.
Fights through, and now a crease. Oh, again. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. And let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
They'll run on 1st down. Cook, he juked him, and he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Here's Watson. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. Past the 20. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Go.
Here comes the Bears defense now back out onto the field. And a stalemate. We're all even on the scoreboard. These 3 turnovers we get a look at. One of the reasons we're tied.
I think without them, we're probably looking at an entirely different scoreboard, aren't we?
Absolutely.
They have really played well and kept their team in the game, tied up now. Their goal, of course, to get that key turnover that puts their team back in the lead.
Now they're looking for, I guess, a 4th turnover. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Again, Watson to keep it. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And down inside the 10 at the 9. A huge play there for Chicago. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they had this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity. Unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
And you can see in the next-gen stats, that one is 62 yards in the air. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be second and goal. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. Time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free, and there's another example, another incompletion.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. Harris has it over the middle. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. That'll be complete to Cook. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Washington going to send out their punter, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Able to slither by. Oh, some strong running. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Bears going to take over now late in this first half. And with great starting field position and 1 timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. The Bears in good field position to start out, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Back to throw. Fields looking downfield for Godwin. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play there just before halftime.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, 2 hands, 2 hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Takes it at the 7. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The final shot before the break, Watson. And now Watson throws another interception. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it's the Packers who have the lead in that one. A touchdown pass there for Jordan Love. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they trail the visiting Colts as that one's gone to the intermission. The Colts trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. A couple of touchdown passes there for Joe Burrow. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And they were able to have a little bit of success on the ground. The question will be, will they stick with it? Or will they be throwing more to try and regain this lead? Meanwhile, for the Bears, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. This taken in at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
7 yards, the pickup there.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd down and 3.
Let's go. Single, slot.
Off play action, Fields. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Fields. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jonathan Allen in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
That's be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Here comes the Bears punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now we've got whistles, and the man slow to get up here is the quarterback, Allen. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 22. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. The timeout here is we got a player shaken up, and that's Johnson who's down on the field. While the traders take a look, we'll step aside. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
On first down, Fields. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Jonathan Allen able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line. And these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
After the sack on first down, Fields. He's got Smith here.
Boom! Big hits all day.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Forced out to his left. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear. But here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on fourth. They'll go. It's Gibson. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. The Bears tried it on fourth down, unable to convert. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That's going to bring up fourth down, only a gain of 2 there.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? Third down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Washington going to send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. On first down, it's Fields. Complete. Smith has it. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Here's Fields.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And he will bring it back to the 40-yard line.
So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
And the Washington offense heading out. And following the turnover, they'll look to take the lead here as they start with a 1st and goal.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the number 2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line together, get your tight end in the ball game and say, I don't care that they're number 2. Let's go ahead and show them that we can run the ball anyway? Or do you do the best thing and throw the darn thing and try and get in the end zone?
Maybe that's wiser. Cook now off the read option.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
Do what you do.
Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And Washington has tied the ball game with the extra point still to come.
Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. The rain making this treacherous, but the extra point is good, and with it, it'll give them the lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field, and they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Chase Young racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we've got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Check, tight right.
3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. It's brought in by Harris.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field.
What a big 4th quarter fumble recovery a moment ago, and now they are set up with a chance to take the lead.
4 down. Alert. 29 is the Mike. Mike 29. Stay with your man.
Following the fumble recovery, Fields. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21.
29 is the Mike. Mike 29.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Fields.
Smith catches left side. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
They run the toss now with Gibson.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Mike 29. You don't want
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Fields on 3rd down. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I know we saw the pass and the completion and obviously the resulting loss of yardage. To me, that play broke down with the blocking on it because if you're going to try and swing it that far outside, that blocking's got to hold up to give your guy a chance.
And the defense, they weren't fooled at all.
No, not at all. Boy, were they aggressive on that one.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Out comes the Chicago defense getting ready for the next possession. Coming off that fumble recovery last time, so maybe they come out here with bigger eyes, a little bit more excitement.
No doubt about it, and I would hate to be a guy in the NFL nowadays that has the football in his hands. Because in the old days, you just worried about getting tackled. Now, they're trying to strip the football, create the takeaways, and that's often more embarrassing than getting knocked to the ground.
Have they gotten much better since your playing days at stripping the football?
So far beyond what we used to talk about. Our thing was just securing tackles, and if turnovers were a result of the tackle, that was one thing. But now they want you to secure the tackle, the next guy in, he's working to stripping the ball out, creating takeaways, getting it away from the offense is crucial.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now a first down throw, Watson. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. A shotgun snap for Watson. This one caught by Ridley. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Washington on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And he finds McLaurin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. From the gun, here's Watson. And this will be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking him.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Slings this deep for McLaurin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Washington going to send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return, and the Bears take over. The Chicago offense set to get started. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw caught by his receiver, Hill. Hill's hit, and he lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, meaning taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it, a costly turnover. Cook now off the read option. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Cook now off the read option. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks. And now here's a tackle behind the line.
Here we go, 3rd and 1.
Gut check time on both sides. To throw is Watson. And that will be incomplete. That close on third down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on third and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense.
It's a pretty simple formula, Charles. A field goal, all you need. That wins you the game.
And the most confident guys going out on the field to direct their teams, they've probably already talked to their kicker before they went out and let him know, don't worry.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off at the 19. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
After the interception, here's Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Throwing again is Watson. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
They've got a third down, but they are in field goal range already. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:56.